Filmekkel a 9. rész, na?
Igen.
What's on the menu today, Professor?
Just a few deliveries.
A few or a lot? I'll take whatever.
Good man.
Hát sajnos.
Jó, pont éjfél.
Ahhoz képest kurva világos. Te most elmentél a legtávolabbihoz. Mindjárt itt vagyok ennél.
Jó, szóval most 2 helyre kell menni.
Te, és itt vagyok.
Mindegy, akkor menjünk oda.
Carrier with a letter for you?
Excellent, thank you. Oh, very interesting. This is not quite the news I expected, but welcome.
Magyarországon soha nem mondjuk el, hogy mit kapunk.
Forgive me if I'm not at liberty to say. As a carrier, I'm sure you of all people understand the value of information.
Yeah, certainly.
The guild has its network, but we overseers, I would say we are more like spiders. We crisscross the city with our webs and take notice when we feel a tug on this thread or that.
I see.
I'm sure you do. And yes, we occasionally feed
Itt csak
upon
azért
the
mondja
poor
el, hogy ez
flies
egy
caught
hosszú
in
a
our web,
játék.
but we're just as likely to give them a treat as well. To keep our web strong, of course.
Of course.
So, perhaps I won't share the tidbit that got caught on my web this time, but I will reward the fly who tugged on the thread and called it to my attention. Make sure my little fly is rewarded. And there's a little morsel for you as well.
Mi van?
Mi van?
Most hova szaladsz?
A másikhoz.
De az lefele van.
Miről beszélsz? Teleport. Miért lettünk chase-ben?
Hát én abba voltam.
Carriers Guild. Here's a package for you.
Oh my! I've been waiting for this. The new issue of Flicker Fanfare magazine.
What's that?
The best source for behind-the-scenes info on your favorite movies, their stars and directors. Oh look, it says here that Lana Kasdan has a new film coming out, and that Eggy Canby's performance in The Quigley is a tour de force.
What's a movie?
You'd know if you read Flicker Fanfare, my friend. I used to read them slavishly when I was younger. I recently found someone with a complete collection. I pay him to send me an issue a month. I feel like I'm back in the old days when movies were being made and magazine subscriptions were in vogue.
I see. Interesting.
Forgive my pathetic nostalgia, but the arrival of these rags, and yes, they were rags even then, well, it takes me back. They're a monthly oasis from the pervasive drear around us.
I can't argue with you there.
So don't. Now, leave me. It says that Teddy Canterbury is having an affair with his leading lady, and he's married to a man. Oh, I swear the cat is just insatiable.
Back in one piece, I see.
Of course. Here's a message I was given.
I'll take care of that. Now get your arse back here soon. These messages aren't going to deliver themselves.
Miért érzem, hogy ez nem csak 10 részes?
I'm restless, Professor. I need something to do.
I got some deliveries for you.
Sweet.
Just watch yourself. There's something in the air.
Ez van belőle, hogy 200 rész.
Can't put a
Lehetséges.
finger on it. But watch your back.
Azt a kurva. Vissza kell venni a másik izéből.
Hoppá, van itt is. Sidequest. Ott is volt metroállomás, Dani.
Hát azért vagyok itt.
Nekem nem mutatja, fedez már fel.
De nem tudom, melyik nekem fel van fedezve. Itt egy metró.
Csináljuk már meg.
Oda megyek, azt tudsz teleportálni.
Ja.
Don't just stand there. Help me.
Bazd meg, mi van?
You saved my bacon, man. Here.
Itt is van egy metro.
Ugyanitt vagyunk, Zoli.
Jó. Jó sokat kell szaladni.
Hatalmas ez a hely. Tépész. Jó gombot én most megnyom, de ne nyomjál bele.
Jó.
Elvileg az összes metró megvan.
Ja.
Azt a felét nem látjuk.
I have a letter for you.
Ooh, look at this envelope, Berto. So pretty. I bet it's a wedding invitation.
God, I hope not. My tux rotted away years ago.
Oh, hush. Yep, it's a wedding. And can you believe it? Garrett, you know him.
Of course I do. What's he getting married for? That kid's played women like a loose game of three-card Monty for a while now.
Stop. It's some girl named Cordelia.
Cordelia? I remember her from somewhere. You asked me, that girl was selling not so much goods, but plenty of services, if you know what I mean.
Oh, you're terrible. I'm sure she's very sweet and they'll make a great couple.
Maybe you say so, but I don't want to go to their wedding. That marriage will be over in a month. Besides, my tux rotted away years ago.
Oh, don't you worry. It's an announcement, not an invitation.
Oh, so they're just rubbing our noses in their so-called love. Well, I can live with that. It means we don't have to buy gifts. Besides, my tux.
Oh, will you just please shut up about your tux?
Carriers Guild here with a letter.
Thank you so much, son. So kind of you to bring it.
Of course, ma'am. Happy to be of...
I don't get much in the way of visitors.
I'm sorry to...
How's the bazaar these days? Still bustling? Oh, how it smelled. Some thought it rank, but not me. It's been so long.
Well, at least you have people writing to you to tell you stories of the world outside your flat.
Yes, yes. I'm a lucky woman at that. Listen to me bending your ear. Forgive an old woman. I'll let you go.
No trouble at all, ma'am.
How's Mrs. Krasinski today, Carrier?
She seemed fine, I guess. Why?
Oh, I'm just wondering. She's all alone. God knows.
Mire hátta?
I worry about her.
Well, I
Mi
just
az
delivered a
izé, a
letter, so
blackmail-es,
she must
nem?
have someone.
Nem tudom.
Well, not really. I mean, I talk to her, but I also send those letters for her. The only other people she gets to talk to are you carriers.
I had no idea.
You're not supposed to, but I've been thinking lately, if something happens to me, who's gonna look in on Mrs. Krasinski? She's so alone. I just thought you should know.
Thanks.
Na, a földben áll.
Igen, nálam is.
Aiden, we have a situation.
What's going on?
Another ambush. This time it's Jack. He just radioed an SOS.
Oh, shit.
Look, I know you guys don't get along, but
It doesn't matter. Just tell me where he is.
I'm sending you the coordinates.
Okay, I'm on it. If he calls again, tell him I'm on my way.
Ez közel vagyok.
I'm here. There's no sign of Jack. Not even much of a struggle.
Knock on some doors. See if anyone heard or saw anything. There's a family nearby.
Hol mentél be?
Az ablakon.
What do you want?
I'm from the Carriers Guild. I need your help.
What kind of help?
A fellow carrier was attacked nearby. Did you hear or see anything?
Yes, I saw something. What I saw convinced me that it's death for me to tell another soul.
You have nothing to fear. The Carriers Guild will protect you.
Can you? You want to protect us? Try clearing this floor of the infected. You know what it's like to live in a dark zone when monsters are lurking outside your front door all the time? My family and I are in enough danger without you added to our worries. So leave me be. Ask someone else.
I'll clear them out. And you'll help me then?
I'm sure you mean well, kid, but even if you succeeded, more would move in soon. You'll probably just get yourself killed in the process.
Oh, it's worth a shot. You got nothing to lose.
You're either crazy or desperate. But do it. If you survive, come back. And we'll talk.
Ez gyors volt.
Hey, it's me. The infected are gone. For now.
You've slain them? All of them?
All of them.
So you have. Fine then. I will tell you of your friend. He was surprised by masked men. He couldn't even put up much of a fight. They just overwhelmed him and dragged him into a nearby building.
Is it inhabited?
I don't believe so. Except for the infected, of course.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you. You may have saved a life today.
And you have provided my family a respite from constant terror. Even if it lasts only for one night, we will be eternally grateful.
Looks like you carriers are as reliable as your reputation. Or should I say predictable?
I predict I'm gonna beat your ass.
You're having a party and you didn't invite me. I'm hurt.
What the?
Derek, the prodigal carrier, so you are behind this after all.
What are you talking about? I'm here to save your ass.
Save your own ass. Kill them both, boys!
Van, több.
Thanks. Looks like I misjudged you.
Same as everyone else.
But,
I told you I'd have my eye on you, Pilgrim. And I have. Especially since our first meeting. You're good. But when I saw you walking into a trap, I stepped in. I told you I'd be there when you slipped up.
I guess I took it the wrong way. Okay. So you're not the one hunting down carriers?
No. But I've been investigating. I've concluded it's someone on the inside.
Fuck. Any idea who?
I have my suspicions, but for now, I'm going after Jack.
But you were following him too?
Yeah, but I lost him after he was dragged in here, and then you showed up. He can't be far.
Calling all carriers. HQ is under attack. Nearby carriers to HQ immediately. We need help!
Oh, fuck. That's Driscoll. We gotta get back to HQ.
Let's divide and conquer. You head to HQ and I'll find Jack.
Okay, radio in when you find him. I'm heading to HQ.
Watch yourself, Pilgrim, and good luck.
Ebbe a városba is van egy mellékküldetés, azt, hogy később vegyük fel.
Igen.
Jó.
What does it look like I'm doing, asshole?
Welcome to the dead letter office, punk.
Take him down!
Hey, we got...
If it weren't for Derek, I wouldn't have made it at all.
Derek? But I thought...
Yeah, so did I. But turns out all he wants is to come back to the guild. And killing carriers isn't the way to do it.
Then who's behind all this?
Well, Derek believes it's someone on the inside. I agree.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe.
Driscoll, you gotta come see this.
Jaime. I can't believe it.
He had to be working for someone. He couldn't pull this off on his own.
With personalities like Jack and Derek around, his nice guy routine kept him off everyone's radar.
Aiden, it's Derek. I found Jack. He's dead. Now his killers are too, but I beat a confession from one of them before finishing him off.
What did you learn?
Jaime was working for Waltz.
Waltz is behind this?
Waltz? I didn't see that coming.
Thanks, Derek. Gather Jack's things if you can. I'll be in touch.
Roger that, Pilgrim.
Miért ilyen böszpén megy a színevadék? Vagy izé?
So what is Waltz after? Destroying the carriers to disrupt the network?
Waltz isn't a destroyer. He wants to control the network. He wants our archives all to himself.
I've heard about the carrier's Bible. Is there more?
A lot more. Maps, other books, vast quantities of intel gathered over the years. Every little detail about the city and the surrounding areas as well.
Waltz is no doubt trying to gather complete information about the city. Maybe about its citizens. He's looking for something and I need to know what. I need to see the archives.
That's information reserved for only the highest ranks of the Carriers Guild. However, you've more than proven yourself. Earned your place among our elite carriers. Come on.
Elit szállítók lettünk, Zoli.
A kurvágat.
Your time has come, Hotshot. Welcome to the top tier of the Carriers Guild ranks. Not bad for a pilgrim. You are, officially, the elite of the elite. The best of the best of the very best of the Guild. Our secrets are now your secrets. To honor this occasion, I have something for you. Congratulations, Hotshot. And to think what you were when you joined. Some snotty-nosed little punk. And what you are now. A carrier. Makes me proud. With your fearless dedication and service, you've earned the right to ask of the rest of us how we can serve you. You get one favor, so ask away. And make it good, Hotshot.
Erre azért nem nyomok, mert kurva sok pénzünk van.
I asked that Derek be reinstated as a carrier. He saved my life and even as an outcast had this guild's back. He admits to his mistakes and I believe he'll work hard to make up for them.
Well, if you say so, I'll believe you. We'll restore Derek immediately.
Thank you.
From now on, treat me like an open book. There is probably a great deal that you'd like to know. Want answers, Hotshot? Now's your chance to ask.
Csak elmegyünk.
Lehet vele beszélni.
Aiden, heard the news? Meet me in the canteen. If I really am to thank you, I want to do it in person.
A question for you, Professor.
Ask away.
I'm looking for a girl named Nia. She'd be about my age now. A little younger. Do you know anything about her?
No, I'm afraid not. Anything else you can tell me about her?
Yeah, she was one of Waltz's experimental subjects. No, one of his victims. 15 years ago.
There were more girls. The carriers know of one of them. It was hard to keep that one out of trouble.
Sounds like it could be her.
Maybe. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. She goes by the name of Lawan. She hangs out with Frank, as far as I know.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
It's me.
Az nem rakéta.
Az X-13. Többit megkérdez.
Can you tell me any more about Major Matt?
Before the revolution, Jack Matt was an undistinguished military major. He made his name by refusing William's order to shoot civilians. He managed to get most rank-and-file soldiers to join him and side him with the people and help in their revolution succeed. He's considered by many as not just a hero, but the city's savior. That was then. Now, I hear, he's more and more after personal gain and the help of the citizens.
That sounds like he's on a power trip. It's too bad.
Ez is ki a faszom? Ja, az a hiszi a biszexuális.
So, what's the real story on the Night Runners? Who were they?
Heroes to most. Started out pretty simple, a group of soldiers who became infected during a mission. Now usually, infection spelled the end of a military career. Too much risk, especially with so many night operations. However, around this time, the military created something called inhibitors. Not only did they prolong the time you could spend in the dark, but also greatly enhanced motor skills and other senses. The downside was the side effects of inhibitors. They kicked the crap out of most people, if they didn't outright kill you. Given a choice, most soldiers took the risk to remain in active duty, and to continue to make a difference in the battle. That's why people consider them heroes. Not just because they did so much to help so many, but because they joined the revolution on the people's behalf. They were the real deal, Aiden.
That's quite a story. So, what about this Raynor character?
Character's right. He's responsible for bringing together all the trade unions necessary to get the wall built. This had him mixing with nearly everyone in the city, both the bigwigs and everyday people. He leveraged his role to make himself very, very rich, which made him an unlikely revolutionary leader, but he became one nonetheless. He was ground zero for the rebellion, although his true motivations have never quite been clear. He came out on top in any case, and manages the supply chain for the peacekeepers. He's up there with Matt in influence. He's got exquisite taste, and in the course of his duties, manages to obtain all manner of rare artifacts his people come across. Well, he's become quite the collector.
Sounds like a colorful individual.
Azt utoljára adjuk, mert nem tudjuk mi az.
So who's this Colonel Williams?
Oh yes, Colonel Chris Williams, a.k.a. The Butcher.
Ooh, how do you earn that nickname?
If you
Az
hadn't
a
just asked me,
Butcherről mindig az
I'd say you
Olivérnek
don't
a
want to
neve
know.
jut eszembe.
But since you asked, Williams was the right-hand man of General Pratt, the nominal head of security for the city. I say nominal because it was an open secret that Williams was Pratt's puppet master. Pratt was a nepotism promotion, and of no practical military use. Growing bold, Williams ordered a chemical strike on the city, while Pratt was stuck at the bottom of a whiskey bottle, unable to cope with the conflict, the responsibility of military command, and really, well, anything not whiskey related. What happened next is common knowledge. Williams' attack triggered the revolution. With Pratt having abdicated all authority, Williams ordered the military to shoot civilians. Most of the soldiers refused his order, and the end of armed conflict came swiftly. But not before the Colonel and many of his supporters made the dam his personal stronghold. Shortly after that, lucky for him, he took in Waltz.
Wow, the Butcher indeed. Thanks for the information. So what really brought on the revolution?
It had been building for a while. Under William's direction, the military was increasingly unconcerned with collateral damage or civilian fatalities. The chemical strike was the match that lit the bonfire. The military explanation for the chemical strike was to eliminate the infected in evacuated areas of the city. Fact is, most areas had not been evacuated. Crowds of survivors remained, huddled on roofs, sheltering in place. Citizens, but also undocumented refugees from all over Europe. There was no way to know who was healthy and who was infected. There was a massacre, and half the city's population was wiped out.
Oh my God.
It was a tragedy beyond comprehension. Was Williams that bloodthirsty and cruel? Was the military that disorganized that it didn't know its own evacuation plans? In the end, it doesn't really matter. Death and chaos enveloped the city, and those who survived had had enough. And so, as people have done throughout the ages, they rose up in revolution.
I hardly know what to say. Can you tell me anything about X-13?
X-13? Interesting. Not quite, but listen to this. Back in the day, the military coded strategic locations around the city with an X and a number. This included sites like water towers, power stations. The higher the number, the more strategically important the location. But I've never heard of any location with a higher designation than X9.
So, what's strategically important about X-13?
Have no idea. But I'll tell you, it's not a place for guys like you and me, lad.
I wonder what it means then. This has been quite an education. Thanks, Professor.
No problem, kiddo. Wish more of my carriers were as curious as you.
Megint lehet vele beszélni. De mit? Bocs, csak rányomok.
Professor.
Ask away.
Nincs is több kérdés.
Jó.
Nothing right now.
Sure, hotshot. You know where to find me.
Találkozunk gyerekkel.
Thanks, Aiden. You don't know what being back in the guild means to me.
Don't thank me. You proved yourself.
Maybe, but you made it happen. Here, take this.
Mint hogyha nem lenne elég pénzünk.
A little toy I whipped up for myself. I want you to have it. I call it Deliverance. And it's yours.
Holy shit. Look at this. Thanks, man.
Use it in good health. Or I'll find your corpse and steal it back, Aiden.
Roger that. You take care, Derek.
Hát most kezdjük.
75-öt sebezünk.
Hát jó.
Mindegy, elrakom a táskába. Hol van itt a táskás hely?
Ops.
Just a variety of food in reasonable proportion. In the past, you could sign up for a diet and they would bring you food in boxes to your door.
Who would need something so fancy?
A VNC Towert megint miért tudtuk felfedezni?
That's for sure. It's time to get back in shape, do a few sit-ups. Maybe Frank will make night runners out of us.
Még a könyveket megcsináljuk.
Rengeteg a kérdőjelünk amúgy.
Az összes rohadt parkőr amúgy.
Felkiáltójel van, amit érdemes megnézni.
Azt mondja, nézzük max holnap.
2.
Dépész.
You're self-confident. That much is obvious. But do you believe in anything outside of yourself? Bigger than yourself?
De megnéztem, mert azt kell válaszolni, hogy igen.
Igen.
Igen, ezt olvasd el.
I believe you do.
Fogokkal te is.
I'd like to think so. But the world doesn't make believing very easy.
Agreed. But we have to hope that all this suffering isn't for nothing.
It'd be way fucked up if this was all for nothing.
I see you're conflicted about this. But not despairing. That's something.
I just don't want to see life as a constant struggle for nothing, I guess.
I see. Thank you for sharing this with me. Oh, here.
I have to go, but I have to tell you something first.
What's that?
But I know I don't always have the right words. But I do enjoy our talks.
I'm glad. I do too. See you again. Soon, I hope.
Until today, I thought our chances against renegades were pretty good.
Hoppá, ennek a sorozatnak a végén nagyon jó dolog lesz.
Tudom, megnéztem. De te miért nézted meg, te rohadék? Akkor ne nézzük meg a végét amúgy.
Nem néztem meg.
Akkor
Bele sem
honnan
néztem, mert elolvastam a címet.
Én is csak elolvastam, nem néztem meg.
Annyi történt, hogy elolvastam a videónak a címét. Több többet nem csináltam.
Snazzy.
Látod itt mennyi van?
Micsoda?
Könyv.
Nem figyeltem.
6 darab, minden meg vagyok, már megy vissza.
Move along, citizen.
Toli, add le.
Rainer's just waiting for Jack to slip, and then...
Zoli, add le a kurva missziót.
Megyek.
Microphone muted. Microphone activated.
Our commander has no mercy for traitors. Consider this a war.
Na, jössz már?
Vele tábortűzni ütökélek, hílelődök. Öt másodperc. Oké, jövök.
You've done it again, Aiden. As I expected you would. What have you brought? H.G. Wells was a master of science fiction, in part because he knew his science. It wasn't humanity that prevailed over the Martians, but germs. Germs, man. Can you believe it? So simple, yet so small. Would that our plight were suddenly resolved in that way. Kipling's The Jungle Book has an underlying theme of abandonment, followed by themes of adoption and nurturing. Oh, how so many today feel abandonment. Hopefully, nurturing souls remain. What am I saying? Of course they do. You are one such soul. It's beautiful, Aiden. This collection, it's... I know you think me a fool, but I am moved. Thank you for this gift. This gift to me. This gift to the world.
Thought our chances against renegades were pretty good. Not so sure.
Toli, gyere a nénihez.
There you are, dear Aiden. I've missed you.
Likewise, Thalia.
Albert seems pleased with today's haul. H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, huh? You know, every day I wonder, are we at war?
Who, us? Wait, did I say something wrong?
Oh, Aiden, that was so cute. No, we're good. I was referring to the world around us. Is that in a state of war?
Oh, right. The world. Oh, we're at war, all right, believe me. And not just one. A lot. Everyone seems to be at each other's throats for one reason or another.
Sounds like you're talking about the infected.
Some days, it's hard to tell who's more dangerous. The infected, or regular people.
How distressing, Aiden. But quite an insight. Here's what you need. Till next time?
Yeah, till next time, Thalia.
Még egy ilyen kérdést nem teszünk fel, Zoli, ami fehér. Megketti át a szemem, hogy feltette a kérdést. Nagyon megint úgy, hogy te itt maradsz.
Want to be sent back to the
Vagy
outlet?
inkább megyek én.
Biomarker in plain view.
Te nyugodtan maradj itt. Kis content lesz ez.
I hope Jack Matt deals with these damn renegades. Don't want my name ending up in some memorial.
I am continually astounded by your tenacity and success. Let's see today's catch. Lewis Carroll truly captured the surreal feeling of disorientation, of falling into a strange world in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I often feel like I've fallen into another world, but sadly, this one is no wonderland. Given the nature of H.P. Lovecraft's horrific creations, I suppose we should count ourselves lucky. What would we do if an old god suddenly awoke? Lovecraft excelled at creating a sense of dread, which made his stories all the more horrifying. I can relate to a persistent feeling of dread. Definitely. Thanks to you, this collection is already unparalleled in the city. Sadly, our sources are getting dry, and I have nothing new for you right now. But I am confident we will manage to dig up at least some more from the city. Just you watch. Wait for my call, Aiden.
Reméljük egyet aludni, az vissza, aztán akkor is lesz.
Akkor alszunk?
Ja. Hogy kerültél oda?
Microphone muted. Microphone activated.
Erre az ágyba tud. És most kicsit várunk.
I'm gonna have to get going, but it's been really nice talking to you.
Hey, hit it harder. It'll go faster. Ancient history. All the time, me and the boys would race forklifts out.
Nem működik a nő.
I am holding it high. Right. What happened? Hey, what did you make there, sir? You won't tell anyone.
Nem működik a nő.
Now this is awkward.
Állj oda elé. Hát bassz meg. Nem. Jó játék. De Zoli, mi csak párzani szeretnénk. Remélem ezt veszed meg.
Én nem hagynám, hogy ez ne legyen benne.
Kellene renderelni még 3 órát, hogy csak ez benne legyen.
Nem fogok most renderelni. Már az este. Vagy mikor felkeltem, majd fogok.
Behagyod elsüvíteni a gépet. Amúgy aztán is, hogy egyből töltse fel. És akkor éjjel felmegy egyből.
Greta's got completely bonkers.
Miért nem működik a nő? A picsába. Ebből nem lesz viccelés.
Úgyhogy nem működik. Most csináljunk egy másik küldetést addig.
Várja.
Vagy majd holnap.
Csinálhatunk még egy-kettőt.
Átlog a könyv a textúra.
Majd működik mindegy. Ezen kívül csak Torik Quest van.
Akkor majd.
Akkor most egyet csinálj meg, az kész.
Nem? Akkor felvesszük a mellékküldetést.
Mert látok, egy safe house, ezt megcsinálom.
When we're on a break here, I see all these miserable faces and I think nobody loves themselves anymore. There was one way to learn how to do it. It's gone. Nobody will ever...
Nobody? Ever again? That sounds a bit extreme.
Well, you think so? What do you think is the first step in loving yourself?
Ez megint mi?
You seem to know the answer. Why don't you tell me?
Most én válaszoltam.
Flowers.
Én válaszoltam.
Nowadays I'm hanging around near the metro station in considerable safety and all. But before I joined the PKs, I used to live down in Trinity. I had a shop there, the Blooming Tulip, near the bazaar when it was still the Church of the Holy Trinity. I was raised in an orphanage among a multitude of apathetic people. Maybe that's why I turned to flowers. But after the outbreak, people stopped buying them.
That's understandable.
Certainly, but there was this old lady. I basically kept the store open just for her. She'd come every day, as if nothing had changed. Her visits were the highlight of my day, until one day she didn't show.
What happened to her?
Én válaszolok, nem te.
Én válaszolok, Zuli.
How should I know?
Én válaszoltam, Dani.
Rányomtam az
Special
izére.
pink roses for her.
Egyszer nyomok
Last
rá.
order. I simply couldn't throw them all away.
Most sem nézzük ki
So I
válaszolt.
kept
Benyomsz
one of
rá
the
elsőnek.
roses and dried it. Just for her.
Na?
Jobb oldalra nyomjál rá.
Nyomjál rá most a jobb oldalira? Most én rányomom. Mondom, hogy én válaszolom.
Mindkettőnek rá kell nyomni.
Nem kell.
Nem, várjál, én rányomtam, és nem történt semmi, csak eltűnt a szöveg.
She never said where she lived precisely, but I asked her once where she kept all her flowers. She said, in a beautiful house made of glass, where the old mound used to be. Here, take the rose. Please find the house and give it to her, if she's still there.
Na jó, kilépek.
Ki ne lépj, ezt megcsináljuk.
This is the right place.
Oh.
150 méter.
Jó. Most itt keresünk.
Üvegházat.
A house made of glass. Reminds me of that flower lady. Maybe I should check it out.
Hol mentél be?
Az bejáratom.
Hol a bejárat?
A túloldalt, ahol vagyok. Van egy tép is.
Farewell, flower lady. So this is her story. I understand now why she went to his flower shop every day. Her son should know that he was loved. I found her. I'm afraid she had passed away. She was with her flowers.
So, she died in peace?
She did, yes. She wrote a letter and actually mentioned you.
She did?
Yes. Here. I think you should read it.
This old lady was my mother? So many times as a kid, I imagined how she'd look. I'd see other kids at the park with their mothers, and I'd have this knot in my stomach, feeling I could never see mine, knowing I could never hold her hand, thinking she never even cared. when in fact, she did care. I did see her every day for years. I never expected that she... Maybe this is why I couldn't throw away her flowers. Thank you, Aiden. Love isn't dead after all. I'm gonna need some time alone now. Thank you for giving her the rose. I'll see you around, Aiden.